What's good, Wizards fans? It's your host, the real Ed Oliver and Brandon Scott. The Washington Wizards lose to the Golden State Warriors 126 to 135. The Wizards had a rough defensive performance. They started off hot, and then the Warriors got hot from the three-point line and out-rebounded the Wizards. Let's talk about it.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
So thank you guys for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get podcasts. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, official sportsbook of Locked On. Make every moment more. Visit FanDuel.com/Locked On today to get started. All right, so what was your biggest takeaways from the game? What was the biggest reasons why the Wizards lost to the Golden State Warriors tonight?
Oh, my, let's get into it. They ruled the perimeter. They shot 50%, 20 from 40. Easy. We weren't getting out hitting shooters. We were slow on rotations that led to a lot of open shots. The paint, they led the offensive rebounding, led to second chance points, extended possessions. Which in turn led to open shots. So I think, all the issues kind of led to one another. Like I said, the offensive rebounds, extending the possessions, and finding open shooters in the perimeter. And their chemistry shows. That's a championship chemistry. It shows with the assist. The ball movement for the Warriors was good tonight, and they caught us sleeping tonight defensively. Klay Thompson and Andrew Wiggins, 56 combined points, man. They were rocking. Now I know Klay kind of, I don't know if he started hot and kind of cooled down, but it was a tale of two different halves. But he found a shot again, and like I said, 27 points for Klay, man. So, from the Wizards standpoint, this is pretty much Bradley Beal and Kristaps Porzingis and the rest of the team. Everybody else struggled. And before I even get into anything, first of all, congratulations to Bradley Beal, 15,000 career points, second all-time on the Washington Wizards. I think that says something about his place in this franchise. Now, we're not going to get into anything else, but I think this is big time, man. You know what I'm saying? I think this. So definitely congrats to Bradley Beal for that milestone and that achievement. But, tonight for him, 33 points. KP 34 points, 12 for 16 from the field, 2 for 3 from the three-point line. So those two guys kept this kind of respectable. You know what I'm saying? Morris 8 points. He had his flashes here and there, but Kispert struggled tonight. Gaff was kind of, it was a solid night, 9 points, 8 rebounds, but nothing to really jump out at you. DeLon on the bench, looking at the bench real quick. DeLon, he pitched in a little bit, 10.6 of assists, but a little underwhelming. None 13 points, but Denny, kind of a cool night tonight, 7.6 rebounds, and rounding that out, Gil with 6 points. So, we're looking at the deadline. This was a major issue for me, was another score. I think we needed somebody else, and we see this time and time again, man, that we're looking for this third guy or second or third guy to kind of step up out of the bench for when Denny has his off nights. And because I think right now, DeLon's not that guy that's going to jump out and throw 15, 20 points on the bench. So none's that guy for when Denny's kind of struggling. So, this was Bill and KP kind of running the show tonight, and it showed. Golden State just there's a reason why they contend for titles, the chemistry. And this is why you always say how important chemistry is, because this is chemistry, man. They played well tonight, and they caught us sleeping on the defensive end. So I think that was the big reasons why we took the L tonight.
Yeah, the Wizards started off hot once again. Porzingis had 16 points in the first quarter, and I was like, okay, the Wizards might have a solid showing tonight. We won the first quarter 39 to 29. Then the Warriors won the second quarter 42 to 27. Klay Thompson got hot. They gave up a lot of offensive rebounds. Kevon Looney had a buzzer beater offensive rebound. To have two bigs in there like Porzingis and Gafford in there at the same time, we're giving up offensive rebounds was inexcusable for sure. They got out hustled sometimes on the boards for sure in the first half, really throughout the game. Closing out the shooters, like you said, the rotations. We're not good at all. Dante DiVincenzo and the Warriors bench, man, they came in and they showed out. Ty Jerome, who went to UVA, he showed out. He was getting to the basket. He was scoring in that second quarter. Dante DiVincenzo, he was getting in there. He was hitting threes. He had wide open shots. Andrew Wiggins, man, he took over at some points, man. They were giving him the ball in the post, and he was, hitting fadeaway jumpers, getting to the basket. So, yeah, just a rough night defensively. The Warriors, they gave up a lot of points too. So it was a very high scoring game, but the Wizards really couldn't get stops when they needed them. And they actually did come back at the end. They cut it to 6. I want to say Denny hit a 3, and then Brad had a couple baskets. Porzingis had a couple baskets in the clutch. The last shot where we were down by 6, where Porzingis, he kind of forced it. They could have called a foul, but I knew they weren't going to call a foul, especially in Golden State. I thought he definitely could have went up, was tougher or harder to the basket, not looking for a foul, and then they got the rebound after that, and that was basically all she wrote. And then Dante DiVincenzo hit a wide open 3. So that was really the story of the night, just giving up open threes. The Warriors shot 50% from the 3-point line, which is just awful defense from the Washington Wizards. They also shot 58% from the field as well. And they only got 15 free throws. But yeah, defensively, it was just bad. It was a rough night for the Wizards defensively. Now, the Wizards did shoot well from the 3-point line, 12 for 28 from the 3. But yeah, we gave up 23s. We gave up 23s on the other end. That's without Steph Curry. I mean, Jermichael Green came in. He hit 4 threes. He was 4 for 4 from the 3-point line. I thought Porzingis could have did a better job closing. And not just him. A lot of guys on the team. Clay hit 4 threes. Andrew Wiggins hit 3 threes. Jordan Poole hit 3 threes. Dante DiVincenzo hit 5 threes. So we gave guys open looks, and they took advantage of it. They took advantage of it. And off of the offensive rebound, they would pass it back out, and guys would hit wide open threes as well. I did think DeLon Wright, he had a couple steals that brought us back into the game. He had 10 points. Kendrick Nunn had a good first half. He was getting to the basket. He had 6 assists. He was facilitating. I like what I saw from him. Bradley Beal, like I said, congrats on the record. He lost his tooth, but congrats on the record. So, of course, with the contract, he has the money to get another tooth or get a cap or something like that. But just disappointing on the defensive side of the ball. I thought it was a winnable game, but the Warriors, they did look like they were going to run away with it at times, but they came back. Denny struggled tonight. He did hit 2 back-to-back layups that brought us back. But the Warriors they were the better team tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that Brad earned that, man, because he shipped the 2. I mean, he hit the floor pretty hard, man. But I think these are the type of games, man, where you want to see the performance from Denny that you saw the previous games. You know what I'm saying? Against contending teams, look, if you want to be a playoff team, you want to be a contender, not a pretender. These are the games you got to step up, man. The bench is hurting. Nunn is carrying a little too much of the scoring load when Denny's struggling. But here's the thing, man, that our bench should not be shut down when one guy is struggling. See what I'm saying? And that's why I was a big proponent of trying to get another scorer on the bench, because one guy being down should not dictate where this bench goes. And that's where it is. I mean, really, when Denny's kind of cold, Nunn's really shorting a lot of the load. And DeLon's not a scorer. I mean, he's a guy who's defensive minded. He can't shoot he can't hit the jumper, but he's not that guy that's going to give you 15, 20 points on the bench. So maybe you give more minutes to Quentin, man. Look, Quentin Jackson had a little energy tonight. I'm just saying, if you give him a little bit of minutes, consistent minutes, see where he's at, maybe see if he can provide a little bit of spark of scoring off the bench. I'm open to that. But I think that's the biggest flaw outside of defense and the paint, man, was just the bench has been underwhelming. We're not getting enough of a punch from the bench. And like I said, I get why Tommy didn't make a move, but then it's like I look at certain moves with the deadline, like a Josh Hart. And New York didn't give up a lot for Josh Hart, man. I get it. Josh Richardson, I'm not giving up 4. We touched base last couple episodes, deadline about this, but it shows we need another score off the bench. And I think that was a big reason that, it hurt us tonight. But, touching real quick on defense and especially 3-point defense and transition defense. Again, this continues to be an issue, and it's going to be an issue because we both agree that this team at this point, they are who they are. You know what I'm saying? So to me, winnable games. Still, I get it. Stephen Curry, you still got to deal with Klay Thompson. You still got to deal with other pieces, but I thought it was a very winnable game. But going into Portland, we're going to talk about, we touch base with a mini preview with Portland, but I still think the next 2 are winnable to go into the All-Star break with some momentum. So, but again, very winnable game and just a team loss. So
definitely, yeah. We're going to go into a preview for the Portland Trailblazers game tomorrow night. Then we're going to get to comments and wrap it up. But before we do get into that, this episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. It's safe, secure, and super easy to use. The midway point of the NBA season is here, and now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's bonus bets. Back if your first bet does not win. Then you can bet on everything from the money line to point scores and threes drained. Tonight, looking at my parlay, Jordan Poole, he killed my parlay tonight. I had an alternate spread of Wizards 12.5. I don't think that hit either. I did do a live bet, though. I did a live bet of Porzingis getting over 31.5 points. He did hit that. He had 34 points tonight, so that was a good bet on that part. But I did miss on, I had Wizards 12.5, so they did beat that spread. Kristaps Porzingis had 20-plus points for Kristaps, and I had 20-plus points for Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole, he just laid an egg, and he sold out tonight with only 13 points. So he messed up my parlay. But like I said, I did hit with Kristaps going over 30.5 points. Plus, FanDuel even lets you combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with the same game parlay. So don't miss the chance to get your no-sweat first bet up to $1,000 in bonus bets when you go to FanDuel.com/lockedon. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon to learn more. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. All right, so we have the preview against the Portland Trailblazers. What's your keys to victory, and what's your thoughts about the Blazers as we just played them? We had a 20-point lead against the Blazers. Anthony Simons went crazy. Damian Lillard, actually, tonight, I heard he had 40 points. I'm going to look up and see if they won. I know they played the Lakers. They blew out the Lakers tonight. They beat the Lakers 127-115. Damian Lillard had 40. He had 40, exactly 40. He had 40 points, 13 for 23. He had 8 threes, and we just gave a bunch of threes to a lot of people. They just traded for Matisse Thybulle. Thybulle had 4 threes tonight. Anthony Simons had somewhat of a quiet night. He had 14 and 2 threes. And Nasir Little had 11 points. Cam Reddish had 5. Cam Reddish is on the Blazers. So they got a couple new faces on there. They made a couple trades that were way more active than what the Wizards were. Kevin Knox is on the Blazers now, too. Shaedon Sharpe, the rookie, he had 15 points tonight, too. So they got a good team, man. It's going to be a tough test.
Yeah, it's going to be a test, man. But like you said, we're very familiar because we just played them. So looking at my 3 keys to get a dub in Portland. Number 1, you already hit it, man. 3-point shooting. We have got to shut down the perimeter if we got a chance against this team, because like you said, they can shoot the ball, man. 2, own the paint. They're 24th in rebounds. So definitely own the paint, rebound, stem those offensive rebounds, and really stem those second chance points and shut down possessions. And 2, cave the defense, attack the paint, cave the defense, and lead to open shooters on our end for 3-point shooting. So I think those 3 factors could lead to a dub in Portland.
Definitely, yeah. Like you said, close out the shooters. Know your personnel. Last game, Kyle Kuzma said they did not know their personnel and they did not make adjustments. So that's really telling on the team. I mean, I just didn't understand how you didn't know your personnel when you know that Damian Lillard can go off and hit threes and Anthony Simons can go off and hit threes. There were some times where Bradley Beal fell asleep against Anthony Simons. So I'm looking at him on the defensive side of the ball against Simons. They just got to take pride, man, because you had a 20-point lead at home and you gave that up at home to the Blazers. So it's a gut check, man. You got to look yourselves in the mirror in this one. They are missing Nurkic, their big man, who's he's a solid player. He's sometimes he's an automatic double. So they don't really have. They have Drew Eubanks, who's a solid big. So feed Porzingis and like you said, the bench tonight. The bench has to step up tomorrow night, and defense is going to be huge, man. Damian Lillard, I really would pick him up at half court because he will pull it from way beyond the 3-point line. He really will. So DeLon Wright, he's got his hands full. Kendrick Nunn has his hands full. We got to rebound too, man. We got to rebound. I don't see any other bigs on the Blazers that really should be pushing the Wizards around. So it's really just pride, rebounding, 3-point defense, getting back on defense, and ball movement.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you look at it, like I said, they're 24th in rebounds, so we should definitely own the paint. Plus, they're 22nd in blocks. So I think we definitely need to attack the paint. Definitely. And the more we attack the paint, man, the more that we, again, cave the defense and lead the perimeter being open. So before we get into comments, tonight's episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. As a small business owner or hiring manager, you know that Success in 2023 all depends on the team members you surround yourself with. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. With LinkedIn Jobs, you can hire qualified candidates more efficiently by matching open roles with people who have the skills, values, and experiences to help you achieve your goals. LinkedIn Jobs helps you quickly attract qualified candidates to your open jobs with targeting tools. They go beyond resume data by using insights from your job posts, company and their 875 million member profiles to put your posts in front of the most qualified candidates. Identify the most qualified candidates on LinkedIn Jobs and connect with them fast and for free. LinkedIn Jobs makes it easier to screen and rate applicants based on your job qualifications all on one platform. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. And it's actually my go-to. When I got out the military, I use LinkedIn Jobs heavy, and I got a lot of jobs off LinkedIn, so I definitely recommend it. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA. It's linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. So let's get into some comments, shall we? And again, I appreciate everybody. I know it's a late game, 10 o'clock on Pacific time, man. So I definitely
we'll probably just read 2 tonight.
Yeah.
2 or 3.
But definitely appreciate y'all, man. So let's see. We started out with perfect finance. West lost this game in the second. Bad rotations. Ball did not move. Warriors were in foul trouble instead of Denny playing hard to the paint. He was benched. Where's more minutes for Turbo? What do you think, E?
Yeah, he struggled shooting tonight. He had 0 points in the first half. Could he have played more? Sure, especially with Kyle Kuzma being out. I know Kendrick Nunn got some minutes here. Anthony Gill got a good amount of minutes. Anthony Gill was playing pretty well. He got to the basket. He was moving really well without the ball as well. There's one time where Gafford hit him for a really nice pass on a backdoor cut. So I did like the minutes that Anthony Gill got. I guess that's probably what cut into Denny's minutes a little bit, and I guess that may be what Tommy Shepard is talking about too. There's other guys that cut into his minutes, referring to Rui. But yeah, I mean, I like what he did in the second half. He bounced back. He did make 2 layups. He had a fast break layup, which I thought could have been an and one. I know they were complaining to the refs about that. Looking at his numbers too, he did hit 1 3 down the stretch that we really needed. That cut down on the lead, where the Wizards did have somewhat of a chance to win the game when they were down by 6. So then he bounced back in the second half. He ended up with 27 minutes, which is a good amount of minutes. So I thought he got a fair share of minutes tonight. So I don't, where's more minutes for Turbo? Should he, could he have gotten 35 minutes? Sure, but I think 27 minutes is not bad at all.
No, I'm with you, man. I think that, he had a kind of a cold night tonight, man. So, no, I'm with you with Gil getting those minutes. So, but I don't think it was bad rotations or ball movement. I think it was just our inability to guard the perimeter, man. It's been biting us all year. And, you can get away with if you look at even the games we've won, man, you can get away with that with these lower tier teams or mid tier teams. But Golden State, I said a couple of podcasts ago, man, I said, look, you can't get away with that with these contenders. You can't. Golden State, they capitalized tonight.
Definitely, yeah. I didn't think it was bad rotations either. I know Kuzma was out, so you got to play some other guys. Quentin Jackson got some time. I thought he made a nice layup down the stretch too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just defense and effort tonight and rebounding. And that's just coming. They just got to look themselves in the mirror tonight before the game tomorrow against the Blazers. Perfect fine is no ball movement. Yeah, it was. It was basically Brad and KP for the most part. It really wasn't much else other than those two tonight, to be honest. JT says, dude, Denny was shooting bricks tonight. Yeah, he was 3 for 10. Kispert struggled tonight too. 4 points, 2 for 4 from the field. He got in foul trouble. He didn't have one of his better nights tonight. So he struggled tonight. Let me see what other comments are out there. Izzy Polycarp says we need Kuzma back. Yeah, we definitely could use Kuz, but you can look at the other side of the court and say, Steph Curry, future Hall of Famer, wasn't out there tonight. So, you gotta roll with the guys that you got out there. But yeah, we definitely do need Kuz out there tonight for sure. The Venomous Media says so over KP's finesse game. I'll say the first quarter was good, but yeah, there were some times where I thought he could have been more aggressive going to the basket, and that last shot was where I thought he definitely could have been more aggressive going to the basket.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was going to bring that up in here. I definitely agree on that part. This is a good one right here. There's a couple I'm going to bring up. Shout out to Michael Corpus. 3-point shooting and offensive rebounds killers today. Gonna be a tough game tomorrow. Kuz better be available. I believe Kuz is available tomorrow, so I think we are good on Kuz. I believe they said it before the game that he was playing. But yeah, man, I mean, 3-point shooting and offensive rebounding are two issues that continue to haunt us, man. Even when we have good rebounding nights, we always allow teams to get these second chance points on us, man. And it always leads to open shots and it kills us, man. So yeah, I definitely agree on that point.
Definitely. Yeah, offensive rebounds because Looney, Jermichael Green. How many rebounds? Looney had 13 boards tonight. Looney had 13 points and 13 boards tonight. He had a double easily. He had 5 offensive rebounds alone. 5 offensive rebounds alone. That's inexcusable. It's unacceptable, especially when you have a 7'3" guy and a 6'10" guy in Gafford. It's unacceptable. Looney should not be getting 5 offensive rebounds.
Nah, not at all.
And Draymond Green didn't even have to do anything tonight. He had 6 assists. He had 4 points. Draymond Green really wasn't a factor like he was last game. It was the Andrew Wiggins show. Andrew Wiggins had 29. Klay Thompson had 27. And DiVincenzo hit 5 threes.
I mean, they won the battle of techs. I mean, he got a tech early, didn't he?
Right.
This is a shout out to Daryl Hardy, man. What's going on with you? The pace is too slow and Monte Morris is too small. King John Wall, he's sitting at home. I don't know. I don't see John Wall coming to DC, man. I just don't see it because of how his exit was. No matter who you blame on that, that situation, it's just too messy. I don't see him coming back. Monte Morris, defensive wise, yeah, he tends to be smallish when it comes to guarding the opposing team's point guard. But as far as his shot and the scoring and orchestrating the offense, I think he's really settled into his role. Early in the year, it took him a while to kind of build up to being that distributing guy. And it took a while for his shot to really start dropping. But in the pace, I think he's more effective when he speeds up the pace. If you look at the last game when he started driving the paint more, this offense was more fluid. So now I definitely agree on those points, man.
John Wall, I don't see him coming back because the way he left in the interview that he had on Theo Pinson's show talking about Tommy Shepard and Ted Leonsis, they didn't leave on good terms. He didn't leave on good terms, and there's a reason why he got traded and bought out. He's not the same guy that he was before in 2017 and 2016, standing on the table and after the game winner. He's just not that same guy anymore. Could he come off the bench and help us or help a team? I think he could. But he's just not that same guy. The Clippers couldn't wait to get rid of him, unfortunately, for a reason. So I still think he can play in the league, though. But I just wouldn't – my expectations wouldn't be high for John Wall to come in and save the team, to be honest. But, it's unfortunate to see. I hope he can bounce back from, being traded and bought out from the Rockets. I hope a team does pick him up.
Yeah, same here, man. Like I said, that's my favorite Wizards player all time, man. So – I like to see him back in DC, man. I don't see it happening anytime soon. So I think that ship has sailed. But I think we'll go ahead and read one more because I know I definitely appreciate everybody showing up tonight. It says, Red Wings 01, what's going on, man? Let's see. Allowing second chance points, check. Leaving the perimeter open, check. Committing costly turnovers, Lord have mercy, check. Blowing double-digit lead, double check. Yep, you hit the nail on all points, man. These are the issues that we've had all season long. And they're not really illuminated when we win. But when we lose, boy, are they an issue. So it's just consistency and trying to shore up these areas.
100%, and hopefully they can fix that tomorrow night. So we're going to wrap it up tonight. We just want to thank you guys for hanging out with us at 1 a.m. Eastern time. So I thank you guys for making Locked On Wizards your first listen today. Now make your second listen, Game to Game. Every moment, every top performance, every result, Locked On Game to Game covers every game from across the NBA with local analysis that only Locked On can deliver. Follow Game to Game on Locked On NBA, available on the Odyssey app, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Hail to the Wizards. Peace.